You know I met you in the dark, it was a Saturday night. Remember seeing you just dancing in the middle of the crowd. There was something about you, cause you got stuck in my mind. Stuck in my mind, stuck in my mind. I thought I'd give it a go and I started talking to you. I don't know what I said, but the next thing I knew is that I held you in my arms and you asked what we should do. What should we do? What should we do? I said you can do what you want to with me, yeah, I won't mind. As long as you stay with me, I'm alright. I wanna hold ya. I wanna hold ya. You got those red lips, blue eyes, black skinny jeans. In every room you walk into, you're always setting the scene. I wanna hold ya, hold ya. We went out of the club and we started walking the streets and then
long time no see. I haven't posted anything since I think like July. I was having a lot of issues with getting my audio to match my recordings, and then I ended up corrupting a bunch of my audio and I couldn't salvage it. And if I could have salvaged it, it would have taken hours just to figure out how to do it, and I didn't have hours to give. I am back in college full time. I'm at the University of Arizona. I'm a creative writing major and a financial advisory minor. Essentially, my goal is to be an author, but I also want to help people be financially stable, get out of debt, and retire with, you know, some semblance of stability and security and confidence. So that's kind of like my goal going forward. Pretty big life events kind of like happen. So I am prior service. I was in the Army. I was having some health issues. I got some of them resolved, so that has been a huge relief. Other than that, school's just kind of like, it's a lot. I feel privileged to be doing it. I was fortunate to be able to make it through the military, and the military is now paying for my education, and so I am so thankful just to have the opportunity to go to school and remain like not in debt. So you know, I kind of had my first YouTube videos that were kind of like a trial and error, and I found some questions for new AuthorTube people, and it's the AuthorTube Newbie Tag 2.0, and so I'm just gonna go through and it's kind of like a casual chat. So the first question is, what's your book's pitch? If you have multiple works, choose your favorite. So the book I'm currently drafting is about a girl whose mom is an assassin, and her mom's kind of like sheltering her and her sister. They aren't really involved in that world. They're going to be pulled into that world very soon. And she ends up meeting the romantic interest, and he has a personal vendetta against her mom, and that's like one of the major conflicts in the story. But there's an amulet, and the amulet is broken up into 4 different sections, and each piece of the amulet controls a portal. And so when all of the amulets together, they control all the portals. And so they don't want the amulets to be put together because that's too much power, and so they want to keep them separate. And both her family and his family have a piece of the amulet, and so they're not allowed to be near each other in fear that the amulets will be joined together. So that's kind of like the early pitch of this. I still have a lot to figure out. I have a lot to develop. Girl meets boy, forbidden romance. What's it like? Apocalyptic vibes a little bit. Question 2. If you were a book, how would you pitch yourself? Strong female lead, independent, joins the military to prove herself, is on a new journey of self-development, following her dream. Not a romance. The romance is very dry. So more of like I guess I'm like a self-development romanticize your life type of book. I don't know how else I would describe myself as a book. What do you usually write? So, the story that I'm currently working on, I would classify as like a high fantasy, but for a lot of my writing classes, I do work in the primary world, and I'm kind of working more in like magical realism, I would say. Writing a bit more in just, I don't know, like what genre I would classify this. Like a slice of life kind of stories. Low stakes, like everyday happenings, but making them romantic. So like romanticizing like a morning routine. Or I've been working on like different craft building exercises that are like a few pages a piece. And a lot of them I really just focus on like day to life, how to romanticize it, take a new point of view. Whether that's like I'm changing my point of view from like being first person to third person, or my narrator maybe isn't a person, it's an object looking at what's happening around it and how I'm interacting with it, if that makes sense. Craft writing exercises like that is kind of what I've been working on as of late. But I think a lot of my passion is in young adult romance, young adult fantasy, strong female lead, kind of like learning about their independence. Kind of have like an incline to the supernatural, but I like reading it. I haven't really worked at writing too many things like overly supernatural. Or what's something you'll never write? I don't think I'll ever write horror. I rarely enjoy those. I've tried reading a few, and I'm usually just annoyed at the end. I think in maybe short stories it works better. But as far as like novels, I don't think I'll ever write like a novel horror story. Maybe I'll write a horror short story. I don't think I'll ever write erotica. It just doesn't feel good to me. What's your goal for starting an AuthorTube channel? My main goal for starting an AuthorTube channel is I want to document my life, just because I feel like it's a fun creative outlet. I also want to start an AuthorTube channel because I think there's a great community on here that I would like to be involved in. I really am trying to like get better about my creative side because I was in the military for so long. Well, I was in the military for 7 years, and I felt very creatively stifled. And I was having a really hard time with producing any type of creative work that I was proud of. Usually either because like I wasn't in the right mindset to create, or I was forcing a creative mindset, or I was forcing to be myself to be creative in really negative mindsets, and I didn't like the work that was coming out of that. So those are my main reasons for starting an AuthorTube. I was really inspired by Brielle Wrights. I mean, it just seems like a really cool thing to have documented and to reflect on, especially as like you're writing your next books and you may get into that mindset of like, so currently I'm just writing for fun. Going after I graduate college and, you know, like I'm able to work through my creative writing major, I think one of like my last few classes in the 400 level will talk about publishing, and I'm for right now, from what I know, I would want to go traditional, but I guess it depends on the type of book that I like, the product I have finished, and how I want it to go out into the world. So for now I'm just writing for fun. I have not published anything, and then going forward, once I finish my degree path, then I might have a more solid answer of what I want to do going forward. What content do you bring to the AuthorTube table? The content that I want to bring is like day in the lives. You know, I am a college student, so like some college vlogs, managing workloads, maybe some productivity management, balancing writing with schoolwork, with work and coda and other like adulting responsibilities. What's your biggest writing struggle? Consistency. I think another struggle I have is if I'm not in the right mindset or energy level, my current energy level projects onto the page. So if I'm feeling really tired, my character will sometimes sound monotone, or unexcited or unaffected, impartial when I don't want them to feel impartial. And I have to go back through and kind of correct a lot of that. But it can. What's your best writing skill? I like my tone. I like the voice of my stories. I think I have good pacing usually when I'm writing stories. Like the pace of my stories and the pace of events feels right when I'm reading. What are you most excited for during this new fresh start on AuthorTube? Feeling creative and feeling that desire to film and to talk to an audience and to share my passion with reading and writing. I really want to put more time in this so that I can see it prosper. Thanks for listening, and if you want to continue following this journey, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on what your favorite thing to write is, or what you write the most often, and what do you like reading the most often, or what do you gravitate towards. That's all I have. Bye.